Yes, that's right, Karen. Hot from the beach,
So what a nice
yes.
time, Amy.
We basically had a nice time. It was nice to get away. It was sad for us because it was the first time we went away, went to this place without our beloved dad because he had passed away in December. So we had that sorrow a little bit because of that. But,
Nice sandy beach though, Amy, I can see. Obviously Amy sent me a couple of little videos and this is her on one of the little videos, but nice sandy beach.
Yes, it's a huge beach. It is huge.
And
to walk down
you're not
to
wearing
the
a mask,
water
Amy.
Yes, right. So before we went away, we looked up the rules because we're in Maryland, and so we looked up the rules for this was in New Jersey, and basically it said that you wouldn't have to wear the mask on the beach so long as you could social distance properly, and obviously it's a huge beach, so it was easy to social distance. I did see some people wearing masks on the beach, but there was no enforcement. There was cops driving by now and then, but they weren't saying anything about masks. So
And what
it was
happened
very
about
pleasant.
Tuesday, Amy?
But then Tuesday we went to a water park that they have, and that was where that was a very stressful and terrible day because, well, as soon as you lined up to go in the place, they told you had to put your mask on. So I just got kind of indignant, and I said, "Oh, time to put my muzzle on," but I don't think this will hurt me,
No,
so I
Amy,
put it away.
it is a muzzle, isn't it? It's a
Yes.
muzzle!
And then I had to say, "Bah, ha, ha, ha," like a sheep a couple times. I couldn't help myself. But then, so then we got into the park, I had the thing on. They let us into the park, but then what happened was that I got separated. I was with my daughter and my sister, and I got separated. My daughter was in a different part of the park, and I was trying to go up to her, and they started screaming at me, and they said, "You cannot go up there without a mask." I said, "Well, I don't have my mask. My daughter has it. If I go up there, she can give it." And all these like lifeguards were standing around and saying, "Well, she's just gonna have to toss it to you." And then my daughter, she just kind of defies them all the time, and she just told them, and plus I have anxiety too, and she said, just be sensible, let me give my mother the mask and everything. And so they did, but meanwhile I was telling the people that, I said, this is all about control. I said, these masks don't even help. This is just a control. I said, you cannot catch a virus. I said, and this is all about Agenda 21. And I was telling them all this, and they were looking at me like I was, crazy. I said, Mark, you here at this time, you're still going to have to go around in masks. It's going to be terrible. So, but, and then my sister, she had to go to the bathroom, and we had put our mask on by then, because their rule was that you didn't have to wear a mask if you were in any of their water pools or whatever. Didn't have to wear a mask then. They had to wear the mask, and they would make an announcement like every 5 minutes, but you had to wear it.
I stopped the video, Amy. So now you were saying, and now?
Oh, so when the rule about it was that if you were in one of the pools or whatever that they have, that you didn't have to wear the mask then. But if you were not in the water and you were not with your party of people, then you had to wear the mask. So I thought, well, that makes a lot of sense, because at one point I was sitting by myself. There was nobody around me. So I wasn't with my party, meaning my sister and my daughter, just sitting there by myself. And I didn't have the mask, but I wasn't in the water. So
did you feel angry?
It was your usual. Pardon?
Did you feel angry?
I was very angry. I was so mad, and then my sister, she had to go to the bathroom, and we had put the masks in our locker because they didn't tell you that you had to wear the mask in the bathroom. And so we started going to the bathroom, and they had a girl sitting there, and she told my sister, "You cannot go in there without a mask." And my sister said, "Well, it's in the locker." And so I said, "Listen," I said, "she has a medical condition," because I know you can say that, and I said, "I looked it up, and the governor said if you have a medical condition, you don't have to wear the mask." I said, "So she's going to use the bathroom, and she doesn't need any mask." And then the next thing I knew, the girl called. Before I knew it, here was this manager, this big man, and of course he had his mask all over his face, and and he said, and I quoted to him, I said, "I know the rules, I know my rights." And he said, "Well, you don't have to wear it in the water or around, but when you go in the bathroom, you have to have the mask on." And I was still arguing with him, and they were bringing more and more people around, and all looking at me like I was this terrorist of a person. and my sister, she just said, "That's okay, I don't have to go that bad," and she ran away. And I just said, this whole thing is so ridiculous. And it just caused so much tension, and there was so many people that were so willing, excuse me, to wear that mask. I couldn't believe
did something happen with the people, Amy?
Oh, you mean the regular customers?
Were they cheering at you or something?
Yes, well, that was when we went to leave. So I was kind of like in a grouchy mood about the whole mask thing, and then I couldn't stop talking about it. I kept saying what a pandemic it was and things like that, but nobody really, got mad at me for doing that or anything. But when we went to leave, so we were actually walking out of the park at this point, and I started to leave, and the girl said, "You can't leave without a mask on." And I said, I'm leaving the premises now. I'm not going to put a mask on to, "Oh no, excuse me, you cannot walk out of here without a mask. It's private property."
Do you want me to stop a minute, Amy? Or are you okay?
No, I'm okay.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm okay. Got a little frog in my throat, but I think I'm okay. But, so then I said, "I am not putting a mask on to leave the place." I said, "This is insane." And then they brought another bunch of people, and then I just kept walking, and they're like, "You can't go, you cannot go." And the thing is, where this water park is, when you leave, it's a big boardwalk and there was nobody on the boardwalk. It was during the day. People usually go at night. And here, it's the middle of the day, and so there's plenty of room for the social distancing nonsense. And I'm saying, I am not wearing a mask to leave this place. This is absolutely insane. And all these people started running out, and then they just kept blowing whistles at me.
So what do you reckon? Were they going against you, or were they agreeing with you?
No, they were ganging up on me, and they were screaming at me. It wasn't police or anything, but it was the workers there, and they're all going, "You cannot leave without a mask." And I don't know how many people, because I just started running. I was like, "Get me out of here!" And then they just kept blowing these whistles, It was horrible, and I just got as far away from the place as I could. And yeah, it was just like really. It just was so uncomfortable. So once we got away from there, everything was better. There were a lot of stores where you couldn't go in without the mask. Now my daughter, she has a way about her. She just tells them, they say, you can't come in without the mask. She'll go, okay. And then she walks in, but she doesn't put it on. And they don't even bother to notice. But with me, it's like, oh my gosh, if I say no about it, they really harass me if I don't go along with it. And
did you wear your new
one of the
clothes?
stores, excuse me.
Did you wear your new clothes?
Yes, I did.
Amy
for
had
my
a birthday just
birthday.
before she went.
Yes.
My daughter bought her lots of clothes to go on holiday.
My daughter, yeah, because I didn't know. I had about 2 outfits I was rotating around. But, it was just disturbing to see all these people that were so not, they were so compliant with the mask, and it was like they enjoyed having it on.
Shock yesterday. I went into the shop and I thought, why are a lot more people wearing masks today? Because it got to the stage where there was say 2/3 not wearing, or even more than that. There was just a small section of people wearing the mask. But when I got to the shop, I thought, and I actually felt so bad. I went up to this pregnant woman. She was about 6 months pregnant, and I told her this was not good for the baby. Please take the mask off. And I haven't clicked. And then I went to the garage and I thought, oh, even the man that's serving me now has got one on. And he said, because he's Turkish or something, today, law, masks. And I sort of remember something about it. So basically, everybody, when they go out, has got to wear a mask. And that's why I did my little video when I was walking around Thatcham.
Yes, I saw that video when you were going around Thatcham. Well, I've been seeing that they're saying that the cases are on the rise, and I think I read that in my city.
It can't survive in the heat. They told us it can't survive in the heat like this. It's got to be cold. Well, we're in the middle of our summer now.
Right, that's what I kept saying,
it's so disgusting, because you can tell the ones that are really into it, they're always wearing their masks, they're not thinking or researching, not doing any research of their own, are they?
That's right, and I told him that. I said, do your research. I said, stop listening to the mainstream media and do some research, and you will find out that I'm right about this. And then if you wanted to eat in a restaurant, you could only eat pretty much outdoors. And then we have made a reservation for this restaurant.
It's so appalling to do this to everybody. Because you imagine, just say for instance you're a restaurant manager, but you don't believe in it, but you've got to go through all this rigmarole just to open up your restaurant so you can get people in it, even though you don't believe in it.
Yes.
A lot of people have woken up right now.
Exactly. And my daughter made the reservation, but you had to do it online, and it confirmed that we had the reservation. So then we went in, and the hostess said, oh, well, you needed a reservation. My daughter said, well, we made one, but she didn't bother to confirm it. So then she said, there were people eating in, and it wasn't crowded, so it was plenty of room, to keep your distance like that.
I went to a wine bar in London a few weeks ago, a small wine bar. No one was social distancing. Everybody was sitting together, no masks. It was perfect.
Oh, it's such a refreshing sight to see that. And the girl told us we should eat up on the roof, so, the rooftop, but there was all these storm clouds, and so then this horrible storm came up, and they told us that they wouldn't let us sit inside because we didn't have a reservation, and my daughter said, we do have a reservation, and they said, well, you might have have to leave. But luckily, because the waitress had put our order in already, they would have boxed it up for us and we could have taken it home. But otherwise, they were going to ask us to leave. And but they wound up letting us sit inside the restaurant and eat, and I was just watching the different customers come in, and they just had these masks all over them, most of them, and it's just, I said, where are all the men wearing these big black masks? It just doesn't, I don't know, it's something about it. I saw one man at the water park, he had a giant tattoo on his back that said, "We the people," and it was all about the, Constitution, and I thought, yeah, but he didn't, I don't think, have a mask on there, but I thought, but would you stand up for our rights? You've got a big tattoo saying "We the people" and all this other stuff, but I said, do you really care about we the people? And so luckily there wasn't a lot of the people weren't doing like the mask shaming thing, although somebody at our hotel had experience.
People, like there's got to be where you now know when you put a mask on it restricts your breathing, that people aren't looking this up. If nobody wore the mask,
I know.
They can't arrest us all.
That's exactly right, and I believe the governor of New York actually said that.
I don't want to buy a mask. I don't want one.
Me neither. And I took a picture of the box of the masks that we had bought, at the drugstore, and it specifically says on there that this mask, it may prevent bacteria from traveling. Like, it may prevent you from getting somebody else's bacteria, something like that. But I thought this was supposed to be a virus. So there's a difference between a virus and bacteria.
Small,
and then it goes when...
But then you can't catch it from anyone anyway, but...
Exactly.
And does it say throw them away when you've used them?
Yes, and it says that the only thing it can, then it says in, it's highlighted in red, and it says that this mask will only protect you from another person's blood, or I guess if they sneeze, like bodily fluids. And it said it does not protect against any kind of infections or viruses or anything like that. Something along those lines. Right. It's right on the box. So I took a picture of it and put it on Facebook, and I said, and I made a caption. I said,
put that picture in on the Hangout as well.
Oh yes, I said Facebook fact checkers.
Would you send that to me?
This is false. Sure, I'll send it to you.
Did that whole thing with the mask ruin your trip away a bit, or?
Oh, yeah, I just happened to look at the box when we were sitting in the hotel room, and because I've seen the one from Walmart, and it has, that one's, the Walmart one, I believe it is, says it will not protect against coronavirus or COVID.
What, it says it on the box, and they want us to wear them?
Right on the box, and the Facebook fact checkers say that it's false because people are misinterpreting it.
You're right. And, even the president and the prime minister, they're misinterpreting it.
Right. So then, I looked at the one we got, which was from a place called Walgreens, and theirs was a little bit different than the Walmart, but that's the one I was just telling you about. But it was basically saying that it may prevent bacteria and it can help against bodily fluids, but it's not going to prevent any kind of a disease from being spread. So,
I'd like that picture, please, Amy. I'd like that picture. We've been going for 20 minutes, Amy. Is there anything else you want to say?
Oh, just that it was just really dismaying to see so many people conforming to the whole thing. Very few people.
Without thinking, hey, I can't breathe. It must have been. I mean, exactly. I used it on the tube, a scarf, and it made me so hot. The scarf had holes in it, but I still felt really hot. Did it make you feel hot?
Oh yeah, I never put one on the whole time I was there, except for that one part when I tried to get into the water park. I think I stuck it over my nose for that part so they'd let me in. And after that, I never put it. I kept it like with me, but I didn't put it over my nose. I cannot breathe in them. I don't know how other people are doing it, and I felt so bad for the employees. There was an older man, and he was like sweeping up. I guess he was maintenance, and his face was beat red, but he had a mask all over him. And I just thought, this is just, this is just so awful to do this to the people, and these young people that were being lifeguards and all, they don't know how to handle it. You would have thought the governor was sitting and watching every move that people made. It's like, they don't care. The governor's sitting in his mansion, or else he's somewhere away having fun, and he don't care if people have a mask on or not. But, yeah, my daughter, she walked out of one store. She went in to look for a necklace, and the first thing the girl said was, please put that mask on. My daughter said, see ya, and she just walked out. She wasn't going to patronize that.
No, well done to your daughter.
But it just, and when I saw the little children, because even the governor has said if you were under 9, you didn't have to wear a mask. It's such a special virus that children under 9, I guess, don't carry it like the rest of us do. But they had their little children in these masks. I just felt so bad.
It's like design a mask, isn't it now? Oh,
yes.
Design a muzzle.
Oh, I know. So many shops were selling all these designer masks and everything. And, I don't know if
I just
people,
can't get over how the government's got involved and are making us, pretending that they've got the law to do this when they haven't.
Exactly. And I
don't know why
said,
more people don't get together and stand up, because when you realise, like that fireman I put on and every mask he used, each one, you were well below the oxygen you're supposed to. You wear that for a few hours and you're depriving your body of the proper oxygen.
That's right.
Ridiculous.
That's right.
It boggles me how we're supposed to be wearing them when it deprives you from breathing.
Exactly. All of it has just been so unreal and so terrible. But it is part of, their whole scheme, and people just don't see
like that
it.
video I was telling you about that I've got to upload. Well, it's on the channel. I'm going to put it out tomorrow, but it's all about basically they're torturing us.
Exactly. That's right. And one lady at our hotel said that she was sitting on a bench on the boardwalk, and the lady next to her said, haven't you ever heard of social distancing? And the lady was very mad. Obviously, she didn't believe in the nonsense. And but I didn't have any people, just regular, customers or people confront me. But it was, the people that worked at the places. And just unbelievable, because I don't hardly go out, in my hometown, so I have to get somewhere and just see everybody complying, and it was like a horrible new world. And you couldn't even have menus. You had to take a picture with yourself and some barcode.
Oh no!
And you had to, and you had to have plastic forks and disposable plates and all this crazy stuff. And they had hand sanitizer everywhere. And even at that water park, they usually put a bracelet on you that shows you paid or whatever, but they wouldn't put it on for you because I guess they can't dare touch you. And then when you leave, they usually cut it off, but this time they didn't do that. But I held my hand out for the girl when I was leaving to cut the bracelet off, and that's when she screamed in my face about the mask. Well, you can't leave without your mask. I said, I'm leaving, and I just kept going, but more and more employees were running up and going, no, you cannot leave. And I was just like getting scared. I started running, and then I said, this is ridiculous. And then they were blowing whistles at
It just makes me angry. When I see someone coming towards me with a mask, I think, uh-oh. I hate it. I don't hate them. I hate the fact they're wearing the mask. But Amy, we've been going for 25 minutes. Anything else you want to say?
Okay. Yeah, no, I think that about covered it. So
I'm so sorry that you had that though.
Oh, thank you. It definitely put an added stress that you shouldn't have to have when you're on a holiday. So, but yeah, it's just a shame.
I don't think they understand that if, say, a virus was real and you could catch it, we'd have all have had it by now.
Exactly. Yeah, that's right. So it's just the madness.
Amy, welcome back.
Thank you, Karen.
Welcome back, Amy. I've missed you, Amy. I couldn't talk to Amy the same because she's been away, but now she's back. I'll hammer her ears. No, I'm only joking.
Oh, yes, it's good to be back.
Thanks for telling us about your experience, Amy, as well. It's not a nice one, is it?
You're welcome. Thank you.
And you were quite angry on Tuesday, weren't you?
I was, and I'm not an angry person. It takes a lot to make me angry, and I didn't like that feeling, of anger. I like to get along with people. I like, and it's hard for me to
Amy's
tell
one of the nicest people that I know.
Oh, thank you, Karen.
Amy, thank you so much for that, and
You're welcome, Karen. Thank you.
I'm glad you're back. I'm glad you're back safe, and I'm glad that you had a fairly okay time.
Oh, thank you, Karen.
All right, my darling.
Oh, love you, darling.
Oh, love you too, Amy.